Hey, we back at our package bee colonies here. It's Wednesday. I normally come here on Saturday, and we're going to add these supers to this hive no matter what. And it was very close last time, and we're just going to do it now. So I have these supers just on here. They're not, bees can't get to them, so I'm going to pull them off, and we're going to look at everything. I have the queen excluder, which I am not going to use today. We're going to do something different, so it's worth watching the video. Okay, they've used a little more of their pail, but that pail is going to go away today. They are using it. Let's see, so we'll take an eyeball of what's going on here. Okay. Now I do see honey going into here on everything, so I do want to take this down to 9 frames if I can. Get on the other side so I don't screw up the video. So we're going to run 9. And what's happening on this frame here? They are drawing it out. I do not see any eggs. I'm going to take this one out, and I'll put it in the other deep that we're going to put on the other colony, as long as they're doing something with it. And I just want to make sure that we aren't going to be moving the queen. We're just going to knock these off here. And let's see, so I'm going to just space them out evenly. They have, just to show you what's happening here, so they're this outside frame, they're making really good inroads. They're capping honey and everything. I'm going to turn this one around because I got a little bit more to do on that, but we're going to call it good. Now this is going to be their winter stores, and I have so much honey in here now, it's too late for me to do a reversal because I'll be putting all their winter stores down on the bottom. So I'm not going to do a reversal, even though they say to do it. But when they're really heavy with honey, that's their winter honey. If you put the honey on the bottom, the bees won't have any food for the winter, and they'll starve to death, even though the bottom of that box is full of honey. So you don't want to do that. I'll just have to remember I got to get out here in about the 3rd week of February and get a pollen patty on them, just to help to make sure they got pollen as they start rearing brood. All right, so now what I'm going to do now is I'm not going to use a queen excluder right yet, and there's a reason for that. You put a queen excluder on, then you put new frames and foundation in there. Sometimes the bees just they can't figure it out. So what we're going to do today is not use the queen excluder. Just put this on, and now we're in the nectar flow, so we will have to say that we feel that the bees are going to be able to move up and start drawing comb. Once they start drawing comb and put a little nectar in here, then I'm going to put the queen excluder in. But for right now, I'm going to put a little bit of syrup on a couple of frames, just a little bit, and hopefully they'll start drawing that out right away. And so that when we come back on Saturday, we'll give them 3 or 4 days here, and it's unlikely that the queen will move up. Just a little splash on 2 of them, and then I'm just gonna spread it around in these Man Lake foundation. They've got a deep depression on there, so as long as you keep them horizontal or put them in there right, they'll retain some of this syrup. So I just want to get going on some of it. There's nothing, no rocket science to this. I'm just going back and forth trying to distribute it, and then I'm just going to put it in. Same thing here. Try to keep it in the center of the frame though, so that bees normally start in the center, and this will just not that, and then I just have them both facing each other. Okay, so 10 frames in here now, and you got to really make sure you push these frames together. You're going to have funky comb, guaranteed. Okay, so that one is going to be our first super. You always put supers on 2 at a time if you can, at least initially. There again, push the frames together. We'll be in funky comb. Okay, and now I'm just going to put on the queen excluder here. Used queen excluder up on top. It's not the right place, obviously, but I'm going to come back on Saturday and get it then. And actually, I got some pollen patties that have stuck here, so I'm going to just remove these and slip them underneath the back in the brood area. If they put pollen in the supers, it's not at the end of the world, but we'd rather not. So I'll just lift these up. Make sure they got enough pollen for their brood because they were so light before. Okay. All right, that is this one. Supers are on. Now we'll go check the other one. All right, here's our second package bee colony. Now this one here, we're gonna add a 3rd deep. We're just doing this experiment. The other one was 2 deep. This is going to be 3 deep. And I'm going to do a couple things a little different with here. Let's see if I see what I can see. I'm going to do some things here. We're going to add another type of a feeder here. We're going to put in a frame feeder just to make sure. We're going to help these bees come along, because during nectar flows they plug these holes up on the syrup and then they don't get it good enough, so they'll be able to get, they can't plug up the other one. So let's see, let me get my smoker going. Okay, we're adding the 3rd box here. So it means we're going to go down to 9 frames here. Take a look at these. And they really haven't done much with this frame at all. This frame here, which will be the outside frame, they can see there, that's coming along very nice. Ooh, they got eggs and everything on the outside. What do we got over here? We have no eggs over here. So I'm going up. This is going to be our outside frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to evenly space them out. I'll get the grass off me. Now this top box that we're going to add, by the time they're done with it, it's going to be full of honey. There's not going to be any reversals because it'll be full of honey, and that's going to be their winter stores, and we just have to just deal with it. Get some pollen patties on these colonies a little sooner, you know, just to make sure they got it covered when the queen wants to start laying in early to late February. Not early, I'm sorry, late February. That's when that'll happen. There is a lot of brood in here. They have been working on all of the frames here, drawn out. Let's just, as long as we're looking here. Well, this was our frame that I didn't like because remember I said we're going to replace it if they don't start doing something with it. And look at that, they're drawing it out just great. Both sides working great. Okay. And let me just look at this outside frame. If it's not, we'll see, maybe we'll turn it around if they aren't, depending on where it is, but I think it's heavy. Yeah, that is all. They're drawing that out just great. Just perfect. Okay. That'll be the outside frame. And we're just going to space these out. We're running 9 now here. And that looks about even. Call her even. And I do want to I'll put the pollen patties down here on the top of the second box, so then close to the brood. And we'll add our third box. And I'm going to put in a cap and ladder feeder. Let's see, so I took that one from below. They were working on that one. I mean, they weren't even working on that outside frame. So I am going to give them the frame we took from the other hive. And they are working on this one. And there's some honey in there. You can see it glistening there at the very top here, right along here. So the bees are going to move up here. They're working on this side a little bit, so we're going to put this guy in the middle. That's the bait. Get them to come up. They'll move up. And then we're going to put all our frames tight together. And I have my cap and ladder feeder. It's not full of syrup, but it's quite full. Pretty heavy. I may have to pull one frame if I can't get this in. There we go. Okay, there's not going to be any funky comb in that. It fits so tight. I will top this off a little bit. It's fitting really snug. Give her a little bit more syrup here. Well, the bees, they might not even take the syrup. During the nectar flow, they prefer the real stuff. And but we're going to do everything we can to help them finish this up here. So fill this one feeder here, and there again, we're coming back out on Saturday and just check, see how they're doing. And now with the increased population of bees, we're hoping that they can be done drawing out this complete deep box in 7 to 10 days now. As more bees emerge, population is getting bigger. Should be better. Got that. See how we're doing here. And there's some holes that are plugged up here. I have a toothpick out here that I keep. Just keep a toothpick laying out here. And I just go around these holes and knock that wax off. Normally they don't do this, but they will do it when there's a nectar flow for some reason, like because they're really not taking this syrup very good. They are taking the the other real nectar is what they prefer. So I'm going to call this good. I think that's going to end this video. And we'll come back on Saturday and check it. And hopefully they'll have made big inroads. So anyways, thanks for watching.